Hi everyone, I'm Josh and welcome to Josh Wright Piano TV. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I want to go over a concept that, when applied, will immediately make you sound more professional. This has to do with pacing and rubato, a very niche concept, something that students really have a hard time grasping unless they are taught these principles. I noticed that a lot of students come to me and they say, I feel like something's not quite right in my playing, but I can't pinpoint it. And this concept today can help you with that issue if you're having that. When I listen to a recording, it sounds so professional and the pacing's so nice and nuanced and refined. Mine doesn't sound quite as refined. And these simple concepts will help you in your journey with that. We will be demonstrating from the Chopin Nocturne in B flat minor, Opus 9, number 1. And we will also be demonstrating from Debussy's Clair de Lune in order to illustrate and put practical examples to these concepts. Before we dive into that, I wanted to announce this month's new VIP masterclass series videos. These are weekly videos based on members' questions that they write in. The first one was from Lisa. She asked about how to reduce tension and gain better hand independence with trills in Mozart's Sonata in F major, K332, first movement. For Ed, we went over dealing with hand independence when encountering lengthy trills as seen in Chopin Nocturne in C sharp minor, Opus Posthumous. We also had a discussion on evenness and speed on the lengthy 35 figure found near the end of this piece. For Taylor, we went over questions regarding hand and rhythmic alignment in Rachmaninoff Prelude in D flat major, Opus 32, number 13. And finally, for Chris, we went over how to avoid mundane and uninteresting dynamics and shaping with continuous 16th note textures using something I like to call the Nocturne method. So all of our members, I hope you are enjoying those videos. If you have any questions, please send me an email and we will put them in the VIP video queue. If you are not a member of the VIP Masterclass series and would like to learn more, I will leave a link in the description below. Let's jump over to the Chopin example. We are going to be demonstrating from bars 15 and 16. So my student Stephen was doing something like this. And he said, something's not quite sounding right there, and we went over what to do here. So what we did instead is we take time on our long values and we allow the short values to push ahead. We also do not push ahead on accompaniment notes when the melody is holding. So for instance, these half notes, these are a great place to just allow the tempo to remain pretty steady. You could even maybe hold back just a touch. And then these eighth note triplets in the right hand can push, and then when you get to here, it needs to stay steady. And because that's the end of a miniature phrase, we could even take time there. Sometimes the end of those little slur markings can be good indicators of where you could take even more time. Let's put that into context here without me talking. All right, so instead of rushing there and taking time on these notes and then rushing this, that sounds very strange. It's stop and go. It feels anxious. Instead, let's do time, push ahead, take time. Time, then push ahead. And here, because that was such an unexpected harmony, we can take time. Same thing here, time, and we're at the end of a phrase, so we can take extra time. This is another place right there. I wasn't planning on going this far, but let's do it. This is bar 18. Take your time. So on this, take your time to there. That was a little long, to be honest. But the compulsion I see with a lot of students is they will go, oh, this is boring, I'm just going to rush through this. And that's a little bit what Stephen was doing on these. He said, I want that to kind of push ahead because there's not anything going on. And that's the exact opposite of what we want to do. When we have a note, Some of the most beautiful things we hear in vocal music is when the singer is holding a long note. As the pianist, we don't want to rush through those long notes and deny the audience of the privilege of hearing that beautiful note being timeless, like making time stand still. We want to do the same thing in piano. Let's jump over to the Debussy next, which is one of the most famous pieces in the piano repertoire, Clair de Lune, so it needs no introduction. But this is a classic example. Rather than demonstrating the point of not rushing the accompaniment, I want to demonstrate with this, just the first few bars, about not rushing through rests. This is the most prominent example from all my years of teaching of students rushing through rests. I even hear some professional recordings rush through the rests. You don't want to do that. We're in 9/8 time. I have a full tutorial on this, by the way, if you want to check it out. If you just type in Josh Wright, Clair de Lune tutorial, it'll come up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if you like a little faster tempo, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you might be thinking, well, gee, do I really need to be that metronomic? Because you were just counting it pretty metronomically. You can take extra time at the ends of these little slurs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you can go. But I only want to move ahead when there's actual movement in melodic material. So 1, 2, 3. It's fine to push there, but then I want to settle down here because there's not any movement. And here, I can push ahead just a touch and then take my time. But what I cannot do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. So many students do that. They think, oh, this is kind of boring. I don't want to make the audience wait. That's awkward. I'll just give it to them. And we don't want to do that. We want to fight that urge because it's in those moments of peace or stillness or stasis that feels like you're exhaling. If you're only inhaling all the time, pushing ahead, you don't have a chance to exhale, and then the music can sound anxious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. See, so I can take extra time at the end, but I never want to steal away time on a long value. You can steal away time when there's movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Same thing in here. We can steal away some time there and give it back here. Continuing on. Steal away some time and then give it back in here. So I hope those two examples illustrated my point today, which is don't rush through static points melodically, either with your accompaniment or with rests. We always want to give full value to rests, and we want the accompaniment, when the melody is holding a long value, to remain peaceful. There are some exceptions to this that I'm sure you could find throughout the piano repertoire. I can think of a couple off the top of my head, but I don't want to demonstrate those because they're definitely more of the exception than the rule. For instance, if you have a really long held note, like for a measure, and it's tied through several measures, we could have some movement going on in the accompaniment. But in these shorter examples, which are much more common, we don't want to rush ahead on that accompaniment, and we certainly don't want to rush through rests. I hope you've all enjoyed today's video. If you would do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button and like this video, it helps it to be shared with more people around the world, which is the goal of this channel, to reach as many pianists as possible and help you all in your studies. Thank you so much for doing that. I'll leave a few links for some things in the description below. One of them is for a free webinar containing 25 strategies for note reading, reducing tension, memorizing, and stage fright. I'll also leave a link for my 2 paid courses. One of them is the VIP masterclass series, which I mentioned earlier, where we address questions from members for each week of the month in a customized video. And finally, the premier course, Pro Practice, which goes over full-length pieces and exercises to help you in all levels of your study. Have a great week. Good luck in your practice sessions.